what democracy is all about. So I'm glad that we have such a robust group of candidates here, and thank you, Daniel, for coming up here.
Sure thing.
Yes. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Daniel Davis Clayton. I'm a candidate for House District 100. My background is in service. My father is a minister. His father before him was a minister. My mother was a nurse. So I grew up in a household that received calls after calls every day from people who needed things in our community. We grew up in rural East Texas. We didn't have a hospital near us, but because my mother was a nurse, she serviced our community in a unique way. And essentially, she was Obamacare for our family and our community. I went on to work in the Texas legislature, and in fact, I am the only candidate that has any experience working in the Texas legislature. I worked for State Senator Royce West for 7 years as a legislative aide, fighting alongside Planned Parenthood to frustrate and kill as many of these bad bills that have been put out there. I also served as the Chief of Staff for State Representative Tony Rose. I was in charge of not only her district office, but also her entire legislative agenda. And I look forward to applying my experience in this role as the next state legislature.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniel. Great introduction there. So, with that being said, in what ways have you shown support outside of your legislative experience for support and been involved in the fight for expanded reproductive health care across Texas? The second part, how have these issues impacted you personally, and what experiences have shaped your perspective?
Sure. So I'd be remiss if I did not go back to the work that I did working in the legislature. I was one of the individuals who strategized against these trap laws. What happens in the legislature is that what we do is we create small groups to work on issues, and so we will hone in on issues, we will break issues down, we will create anti-talking points, and we will find people to also give those talking points at committee meetings. So we did that work. And some of the most important work is poking holes in those laws so that we can kill them. And I've been a part of those teams. And I think I speak for all of the Democratic candidates who are running for this position in saying that I think that we all support this issue. However, we need someone who understands Austin, who understands the fact that the Texas legislature works differently than the state senate, and can navigate those waters to get things done. It usually takes a legislator about 2 years to figure out where the bathroom is in Austin. And I've been there, and I've been in those shoes. But after 10 years, I understand how to get the work done. And we need somebody who can do that work.
Thank you. Just on that second part of that question, any personal experiences around reproductive health for you or a loved one or friend or family in the community that you've supported, and how has those experiences shaped your values and vision?
Sure. I have friends who have utilized services at Planned Parenthood. I also understand that Planned Parenthood provides services to men as well. And I think that we have to make sure that not only are those services still available to each and every person, but that we don't have individuals who are shaming people from taking care of their own reproductive rights and their own health decisions. Because the psychological damage that is inflicted upon people who are simply trying to take care of themselves is something that it's really horrible. And we have to make sure that we protect each and every person. That's really important.
Thank you so much for touching on that. Yes, the stigma around sexual reproductive health care, around abortion, is very damaging to both how we move these issues forward in the legislation and the community, so thank you for bringing that up. For those who are watching online, again, we're here with our candidate forum for HD 100 with Daniel Clayton. Our next question is regarding the Trump administration. So recently, the Trump administration forced Planned Parenthood to withdraw from the Title X program, which was a federally funded family planning program. Conservative states like Texas have been pursuing restrictive policies like these for years and had already been in place in Texas for several years. Policies like this restrict access to people with lower incomes and those who are uninsured, as well as people who are undocumented. Title X was one of the few programs that allowed community health providers to provide publicly funded services to undocumented patients. What strategies would you undertake to stop or dissuade your anti-choice colleagues from pursuing attacks on patients who rely on this care?
Sure. So we understand that the Republicans are becoming more sophisticated in how they're attacking reproductive health. When they create laws that sound fair to the average person, when they create laws that say you have to have a certain grade of medical equipment, if you're not educated on reproductive health issues, then you may believe that that sounds like it's fair, it sounds like it makes sense, and then support that without understanding the undertones of how it dismantles our access to health care, without understanding the fact that in many cases, the regulations and the stipulations that they put we're talking about medical grade equipment that's only available at certain world-class hospitals. And when you place those regulations on health clinics, then you essentially shut them down because they're too expensive to bring in. We know that. And so we have to be vigilant. Well, one of the roles that I played as the Chief of Staff for State Representative Tony Rose, she served on the committee of, the Calendars Committee. And the Calendars Committee is a committee that every single bill that comes out of a committee comes to before it goes to the House floor. So it has to be cleared through the Calendars Committee. And what I did in that role, working alongside of her, of course, is that I had to read every single bill that came out of every committee in the Texas legislature. And we had to fight to slow down some of the bad legislation to keep it from going to the House floor. I understand, because I've been there, that if you can slow down a bill even a few days, even one day, that you stand a chance of killing that bill. And that's what experience tells us. And again, I think that all of us support the issues of Planned Parenthood, but not all of us have the same skill sets to make sure that we accomplish the goals of Planned Parenthood. I have those skill sets. I've been there. I've done the work. And I look forward to doing that work as the next state representative.
Great answer. So, knowing how things work down there and making sure that the needs are made for everyone in Texas, the Stonewall Democrats of Dallas has an amazing question looking at the needs and the leadership of marginalized communities are centered. Okay? So the violent deaths of 2 African American trans women in Dallas and bringing national attention to the epidemic of violence against the transgender community, an epidemic which disproportionately affects trans women of color. What has been your involvement with the LGBTQ community, specifically the African American LGBTQ community, and how do you plan to address the epidemic of violence against trans people of color?
So I'm actually really good friends with one of the leaders of Dallas Pride, which is the African American LGBT organization in Dallas. And also, I want to say this. For 2 years, I worked as the regional director for Enroll America. It was a nonprofit organization, and what we were charged to do was to identify every single uninsured person in Texas to get them signed up for the Affordable Care Act. If you don't know this, North Texas is the most uninsured region in the United States. And because I learned that fact, I actually left Senator West's office to go do that work. While I was doing that work, I am the only regional director in the state that invited individuals from the transgender community and the LGBT community to come and talk to our organizers about the specific interactions of the ACA with the LGBT community. And because I was able to educate my team, and again, I was the only person around the state that did this, I was able to educate my team on nuanced issues that most people didn't understand or know about, so that as they went out and continued to organize, they could help spread the word and educate other people. I'm very proud of that fact. And I think that it's important that every single person that's running for this office to show that they've done the work in the community. And my work with Enroll America evidence that. We signed up over 400,000 North Texans into Obamacare. So I understand that interaction. I understand that we need the Hatch Act at the national level to make sure that the protections are there.
Thank you, Daniel.
Sure.
So we have just 1 minute left on our time. Every candidate, again, as a reminder, gets 10 minutes. So just your last closing statements.
Sure. So again, I am the only candidate that has any legislative experience at the state level. Again, 7 years with the state Senate and 3 years as chief of staff with the Texas House of Representatives. Not only that, I've been hands-on in the community in a way that no other candidate has been. When it comes to education, I have created a social emotional learning program at my son's school that's now going into its 2nd year. And that was at the bequest of the principal. She asked me to do that because I've been reading at the school for the past 9 years every Friday. That's consistency. I've also been one of the organizers for the Enough is Enough Stop the Violence event you may have heard about, because I've been involved in gun violence issues in our community. We've had many gun deaths in District 100. Yet, we're the people that have been working to deal with those issues in terms of making a change. I've gone out to barbershops with the Sergeant Quigg, who is the sergeant of the gang unit for Dallas Police Department. And we've been working hand in hand for months on issues of gun violence. And I think it's important that, again, the people that are running show that they've been involved in the community, not just say that they've been involved in the community. And so with that, I'd like to share my email address and my website. You can reach me at daniel4for100.com, and my email address, my website is danielfor100.com. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Daniel.